In our three-legged stool analogy, there are three primary considerations people need to think through when making decisions about self-employment. First, if it's a good match for the person, both in terms of their financial needs and their conditions for employment. For example, if someone has significant medical problems or frequent medical appointments, they may need a flexible schedule that self-employment may accommodate. So sometimes self-employment is an accommodation for disability. But we also want to ensure that it fits people's interests and skills, as that's what keeps us all motivated to work. The second leg of the stool is business feasibility, or that we can demonstrate through research and test marketing that the business can make a profit. We don't want people to spend time developing a business that is not going to be successful. Hobby businesses, which are businesses that basically cover the cost but don't make a profit, are fine, but they are not something that Voc Rehab or PASS or any other funding stream can support. We're about helping people work and become more financially independent, so business feasibility is really important. The third leg, and this one is also really important, is does the person have the support they need to develop, launch, and maintain the business? All business owners need support. Many business owners need help with their finances or their marketing or their websites. It's no different for business owners with disabilities. Supports might come from family or friends, natural supports, or they might be agency supports, for example, services from a community rehabilitation program, or supports could be paid for by the business as either a paid employee or a contractor. But if the person plans to pay for certain supports, it must be addressed in their business financials. Another concept around support is the idea of a business within a business, which I'll tell you about in a minute. If all three legs of the stool aren't in place, we know what happens. The stool will fall. So we need to make sure that we help potential business owners see how self-employment and their particular business idea fits them, why they need to demonstrate that the business can make a profit, and help them identify and secure supports during the planning process. Now, I mentioned one way to address support might be through what we call a business within a business. The concept of a business within a business is that the business is co-located within a host business and that both businesses gain from offering complementary products and/or services to a common customer base. Think about the Geek Squad that is co-located within Best Buy. They target a similar customer base, in this case people who use computers and other electronics. Best Buy sells products, but often when somebody buys a computer, they immediately need someone to transfer their data, so the geeks are right there. On the flip side, if you take your broken computer to the Geek Squad and they can't fix it, you're likely going to at least look at a new computer at Best Buy while you're there. So it creates a win-win situation for both businesses. A business within a business arrangement can be particularly useful for people with disabilities who may have additional support needs. For example, I once worked with a man who wanted to start a business doing car detailing. When we talked about his support needs, he and his business planning team identified three big areas where he would need support. First, he'd need support in scheduling appointments because he didn't keep minutes on his phone and he was not easy to understand on the telephone, his speech. Secondly, he needed support with dealing with money. Money and math are very difficult for him. And thirdly, he needed assistance with moving the cars because he didn't have a driver's license. So if he had to pay for all those supports out of his business income, he likely could not show a profit. But if he were able to find a business that could benefit from his terrific car detailing skills, he could potentially make them a deal. Say that the local car dealership would like to offer car detailing to customers who were leaving their car there for the day to be repaired. If it offered value-added services to the customer, so it's a win-win for the host business, plus he might be able to negotiate help with scheduling, accounting, and moving the cars as part of his rent that he pays to the business. Think about it. There are people at the car dealership that are already handling scheduling, billing, and moving cars around. Often people can negotiate their payment to the host business based on a percentage of their business income. So payments grow as business grows, and they can never exceed their income. So a business within a business is just one really creative way to address the support needs an individual may have. One of the things we encourage potential business owners to think through is how much money they want and need to make from their business. Is their goal to get off public benefits entirely? Are they looking to supplement benefits? Are they working towards something big in particular, say a large purchase like a car or a house? Or just to make enough money to pay for vacations or to cover other expenses? Defining financial goals will help provide a litmus test for determining if their business idea can meet their financial goals and expectations. So we work backwards from the desired earning level. Generally, in calculating the desired level of income, we want a goal that is at least equal to a typical supported employment wage, around 20 hours a week at $10 an hour. We could also start at the benefits break-even point, how much earnings it would take to significantly reduce benefits. We want to maximize earnings to show Social Security and vocational rehabilitation that this business is significantly helping the person move forward in his or her life. Minimally, I think you would want to show that the person's income is greater than or equal to minimum wage, given the hours they put into their business. Another thing to consider is if the person's need for income is immediate. Self-employment in many cases will not be a quick way to earn money, as there might be planning time and a startup phase that could be at reduced earnings. So if somebody is needing immediate income, this might be part of that discussion. Perhaps they need a wage job now while they plan for a business that might better meet their needs long term. We also encourage people to think through the impact on the entire family, such as health care for dependents, child or parent care responsibilities, and overall income. For example, a business owner with a disability might have Medicare or Medicaid for their own health insurance, but may need to cover family members through business profits. This impacts the amount they would need in business income. Financial planning would also look at people's government benefits and how earnings, whether it be wage or self-employment income, would impact government benefits. Self-employment income is calculated a bit differently for Social Security purposes, so it would be advisable for anyone pursuing self-employment to consult with a benefits specialist. States have projects called WIPA, or Work Incentive Planning Assistance, that are funded through Social Security to help beneficiaries who want to work understand how benefits will be impacted. And what are some potential resources for business startup? There may be several resources available to potential business owners with disabilities, including vocational rehabilitation, individual development accounts, micro-enterprise lending programs, but these will all be covered in a future session. But know that how much someone intends to earn may have some bearing on the financial resources they have available to them. For example, if someone plans to use a plan to achieve self-support, or PASS for short, a work incentive through Social Security that can help people with expenses related to a person's work goal, Social Security will generally require that earnings projections will significantly reduce or eliminate their Social Security benefits. So financial planning is important regardless if someone is seeking wage employment or self-employment, but there are some additional considerations when planning for self-employment.